Welcome back to the tutorial of React JS. Today in this video we are going to talk about arrow function. You already learned about let and const. Another construct you are going to see a lot in this course are arrow functions. That's a different syntax for creating JavaScript function. A normal JavaScript function, of course, look like this with the function keyword. You may also note a syntax where you have var my function equals functions. Now in arrow function looks like this. Here I'm storing it in a constant, and then on the right side of the equals sign, that's the arrow function syntax. A list of arguments, here is none, but it could hold some arguments and then an arrow. So an equal sign and a greater than sign, and then the function body. The arrow function syntax is a bit shorter than the normal syntax. Since it omits the function keyword, and it's also and is that the great benefit solves a lot of the issue you often had with this keyword in the JavaScript. If you have worked with the JavaScript a bit, you probably know that the this keyword does not always refer to what you might have expected it to refer to during you writing your code. When you use this inside an arrow function, it will always keep its context and not change it surprisingly on runtime. So let's now move to JS bin to see that arrow function syntax. There are a variety of syntaxes available in arrow functions. We will cover the common ones here to get you started. Let's compare how ES5 code, like the normal JavaScript with function expression, can now be written in advance in ES6 using arrow function. So here is the basic syntax with multi-parameter I'm going to show you. So here is a variable like the normal JavaScript. We can say multiply. I'm going to say multiply because I'm just giving you one example of this is the ES5. I'm writing ES5 that you guys just realize this the function, the old function one. So I'm calling here to multiply ES5. There is a variable which is equal to a function, and here I'm giving some arguments with the multiple parameters, you can say, and x and y, and then I'm calling here return the way we're doing in the normal JavaScript. So I'm calling it return x into, because multiply, so return multiply x. If we now console log, so dot log here, and we're gonna give him two arguments, for example 5 and then 6, like this, two parameters and two parameters. We run 5 into 6, x and y. Wait, console log, we should also say multiply here, because we need to describe the function multiply ES5, and then like this. Let me check it out again, and now you can see 30. 5 into 6 is 30. In the console log we have to describe this variable. Now if we want to write in the ES6, how we will be do this in the, so I'm just calling here const, and I'm giving a name of multiply ES, and then 6 function I'm gonna show you. So I'm calling here equal and then parentheses where I can define my parameters, which is the same x and y, and then arrow function equal and greater than sign. Well, here is the basic sentence I'm showing you. So I'm just calling here x into y. Let me clear to you, into y. You can do with this way as well if you want. Let console log. There's so many ways you can output your result. So like multiply es and 6, and then the value of this. So let me the value change a little bit, and 4 into 10. So you guys consider. Now I'm going to clear and run again. So now you can see 40 result, because 10 into 4 or 4 into 10 is equal to 40. One way you can do this without curly braces. You know the curly braces, which one you be using? If I'm going to use here, I put here curly braces, and also I'm calling here return x into y. Let's see, it should be work with this way too. Yep, it's work. Return x into y. With this way you can also. Curly brackets are basically not required if only one expression is present. The preceding, the one example I already was show you without the curly braces. Okay, now let me show you basic syntax with one parameter. So when we are using one parameter, so parentheses are optional when only one parameter is present. And I am also giving you another kind of example, maybe you guys like it. So for example, in the normal JavaScript we call variable, which is phrase, and I'm calling here where the phrase splitters. So splitter, and then es, I'm calling here es5 and equal to, and then we already calling function, which the function call is phrase splitter, splitter, yeah, and then phr phrase, yeah, in the parentheses, and then we call here return, which is phrase dot split. We want to split in the strings, yeah, these strings. And also let me also give you the example with the es6 one. So just I'm just gonna want to copy that I can edit fast. Let me show you. So here in the const one, I'm just gonna say const here, and then I'm changing to es6, and then what we have to do, remove this function keyboard and remove this first base one. Let me, okay, so I'm just calling here phrase, and then equal, and the arrow function. And if I'm not using these curly braces here, or not, no need to use it. Let me go to, let's cancel it, I don't want to keep. So phrase dot split, and then we call here split, but what we want to split it. So I'm going to console dot log, and then in console log, first we have to call the function name, that's the function name, and then I'm giving two words in one, you can call say in one string, But when we run this, it will be give us in a two string separately. Now you can see here the array of ES6 is in a different string, another, and that's in another string. So that's how it's very simple to use the arrow function with only just one parameter. If you have one parameter, just arrow function, and you have written the value. If we have no, for example, no parameter, without parameter, so without parameter, what we have to do, the same function I'm gonna show you. So here is parentheses, and if I have here, I'm gonna just call here uh, doc log. I'm giving you other examples that you guys can just be see what we can do with it. So I just call here, and then here in the curly braces I'm calling console.log, and then in the console log we have document. Document console log, and here I have to call the function doc log es6 es6. Now you can see what is the doc log. You can see here that's all the document log, the one this document here they're gonna telling us what you guys did. Now you can see here window dot running the doc logs, or run dot logs proxy console log. So that's the one of JavaScript have function which you can see what's going on in your document logs. So that's how you can use without parameter, only just call the function. If we have an object, so arrow functions like function expression can be used to return an object literal expression. So the only caveat is that body needs to be wrapped in the parentheses in order to distinguish between a block and object. So let me give you one example how we can use the object one. So the before one was okay, we can go by just by the const one, no need to show by the old JavaScript, or you can want to use the old JavaScript. So if we say const set, we can say set name, for example name IDs, and this is the ES6, okay, not is the ES5. If you guys want, you can try in the old function of JavaScript. So here I'm calling two parameters, which is ID and name, and then arrow function. This is the arrow function, and then I'm giving one more parenthesis. Inside the block of parentheses have object, and in this object I'm calling ID, which is we already described. This is the our ID, and then the value of ID is ID, which is this parameter. And the second thing, we have a name, and the name is have a name one, the name variable, which is we already created this variable. Now if I'm console log, how we can console log this, you guys know. So we have to call the function name, which is set name ID, which is ES6, and then we start the parentheses. We have to give them values of this. So what is the value of ID? The ID value is 4, and the name is, I'm saying Kyle. Now if I run this, this is set name es6 is not defined. Okay, not defined. IDs, which is because yeah, there is a I miss spelling. You can guys say misspelling. So now you can see object because it's round, and a both of which is used with curly bracket. So object and ID is 4 and name is Kyle. This is how we can use object literal syntaxes. If you want to use cases, use like cases for arrow function. So how you guys can you use the cases one? So let me give you one more example for the cases. We have already covered basic sentences. So one common use of cases for arrow function is array manipulation. And the like, it's common that you will need to map or reduce an array. So let me give you one example. If we want to have an array, so if I have a const, and here is I have an array of smartphone. Let me smart, and then is a phones here, and I have array. I'm calling an array, and array have objects basically. So here is name, which is iPhone, iPhone, and then it should be the price of it. So here is the price, and the price is just like this. So this is our object of array. Let me copy and just a little bit change it with, so we can easily check it out. So here's Galaxy. I'm just writing simple 700, and here I'm calling Note. If we have a Note 5, and then here is 609. So I never put it. Okay, so we have array now. Now what we need to map it. So map or reduce array. So let me map with this. So const and have an array, and array is equal to, which is have a smartphones. So we have to map function, the map argument, we have to use it. So here is I'm calling to map, which is like a loop through. When you guys loop through in a regular JavaScript, so it's the same like a loop through. So we say smartphone, and then arrow function, and what I need to print it. So smartphone dot price. I want you to show me the price, so that's I'm doing here. It show me the price. So let me console log what the result of this map, and I want to do the price. You can say prices, you can say prices. Okay, let me run. Let's say error, prices is not defined. I know that. Let's say price is not defined. Smartphones, constant, where we are wrong. Sorry, yeah, we never describe. I was just looking for the array, but which is the variable which we equal to. Okay, so 649 700 and 609, you can see here. If you want to look your phone the name one, so you just create the const name, and again you can remap it. So this is how you can take out the value with the map arguments in advanced JavaScript. I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys like my video. If you have any questions and you want to further more about arrow function, you want to use something more in it, you feel free to comments in my video. I will be definitely make another video about this. So let's see you in the next video.